Today we'll talk about why New Zealand, what are the top universities, the application process and requirements, the cost, the jobs, immigration, PR. Why should you study in New Zealand? Okay. First, it's a very peaceful, welcoming country and a very beautiful and a scenic country, right? I mean, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. You can work while you are studying. The cost of living and the cost of education is less as compared to many countries like USA, Australia and UK. Very peaceful country, open environment, open culture, English speaking country, and one of the main plus points is a very small batch size. So there is a lot of one-on-one interaction with the professor. You will not find it strange if there are just a class of 8 to 10 people happening, where in USA you might have like 50 to 100 people in a class as well, right? So that's one of an advantage of a small batch size. Which are the top universities in New Zealand? So these 8 are considered amongst the top 8 universities in New Zealand. Auckland, Otago, Canterbury, Lincoln, Massey, Waikato and Wellington. So these are some of the top names out there. So there are people who prefer a proper city life. They prefer Auckland and Wellington because they want a city life. But again, some of these are really good brand names. So let's first talk of the requirements. There are no application fees, so that's a huge plus point. You can apply without spending money, number one. Number two, the duration of the program is usually 1.5 to 2 years. Most of them are usually 1.5 year programs when I'm talking at a master's level. The intakes are usually in spring and fall, so the February-March intake or the July-August intake. If you are applying for a master's program, you will need a resume, your mark sheets, transcripts, essays, letters of recommendation, and your English proficiency exams. What about the timelines that we should be looking at? So if you are looking at a July intake, till February, you want to ideally complete all the documentation, exams, finalize your colleges, be ready with paperwork, etc. and fill out the forms and submit your application by March. Now, March are usually the deadlines, but you can apply early. Usually you get your decisions in maybe 4 to 6 weeks time. So you apply early, maybe by Jan-Feb, you can get an early decision, giving you more time to work on your other documentation. Once you get the decision, you start working on your finances and your accommodation and your visa process and everything. So for finances, they are pretty strict with respect to the bank statements and everything. You need to have money in the bank for 3 months and everything. So you want to start planning your finances also in parallel and not wait for the last minute. You might have the money, but it needs to be shown and everything. The bank statements need to be planned in advance. You apply for the visa usually 1 to 2 months in advance. You do the visa procedures in May, fly in June, July, depending on your college start date. Similarly, if I'm looking at the February intake, the timelines are again on similar, the process is the same, the timelines being shifted by 6 months. You finalize your colleges and apply by maybe October, November. You get your decisions, apply for the visa and fly at least 2 to 3 weeks before the orientation start date. What about the cost of education? Here we are looking at a sample cost for graduate studies and undergraduate studies. Again, it is a range because the cost might vary depending on the school you are in, you're doing. culinary arts, you're doing horticulture, you're doing engineering, you're doing finance. So the cost might vary, but it won't vary drastically. We are looking at a range of somewhere around 3,000-4,000 New Zealand dollars here and there, varying from program to program. Obviously, the graduate fees are a little bit more expensive than the undergrad fees, but not substantially enough to make a huge dent on your pocket. So you get an approximate idea of where the fees are going to be. We are looking at anywhere around, maybe if I had to average it out, it would be about $35,000 per year. What about the living expenses? Now, again, these are estimates. It depends on your lifestyle. Hey, I want to stay alone in a room. I want to share my room with someone and save money. I'm going to cook food every day. I'm going to eat outside every day. The apartment you stay in, your lifestyle, etc. So this gives you an approximation. We are looking at anywhere between, say, $15,000 to $20,000 per year. Again, these are your expenses which can be covered through your on-campus jobs as well. There are a lot of merit-based scholarships. We have named some of the scholarships out here. Every university will have its own scholarship applications you can apply for once you are admitted. And the scholarship amount usually ranges from $5,000 to $20,000 per year. Applying early will definitely help you in getting these scholarships as well. So another advantage is of applying early. So it's an online process. You want to apply usually 2 months before you plan to go. The documentation required, it's a simple process. A photograph required, passport copy, medical examination will happen, character certificate or a police verification might be required, needs to be done before you apply. You will need the offer letter from the university and the finances, the bank statement and everything required to show that you have enough money for the visa process. You will need to buy your insurance and flight tickets in advance before the visa process. If you look at a pay range, it's a range depending on factors like your work experience that you have, the college you graduated from, the location you are situated in, and how well you do in the interview and what you bring to the table. So again, it's a range, but you have the median pay also in front of you. So this gives you an approximation of how much to expect. You can look at the lower amount if you want to at the lower range. In case you are quite a fresher out of college, at least that gives you, this is the bare minimum salary I can make on graduation, which should be good enough to, recover the loan or the money that you put into your education in a couple of years. What about the immigration system out there? Now, once you are there, working there in those 3 years, if you have accumulated enough points, you can apply for a PR, right? So the immigration system is point based. Okay, they look at various factors. Hey, you've been in New Zealand for 2 years, you will get a couple of points. You have a master's degree, couple of points, right? You have work experience, couple of points. So if all these points add up to their threshold value, you can apply for the PR and you can get it. So all the details are mentioned on the immigration.government.New Zealand website. It's a very, immigration friendly country. That's one of the main reasons why people end up going there, because, the work-life balance is great, peaceful country, beautiful, and not as expensive as many other countries in the world. So the immigration system, like I said, is point-based. It follows the same pattern happening in Australia, Canada, Ireland, and even the one that's come out in UK as well. Peaceful, welcoming country, beautiful country, great scenery out there. Okay, great work-life balance. So if you want to, spend your time farming and gardening and, having a hobby of your own, you will have a lot of time to pursue that after your work. Cost of living, studying is low, and a very small batch size is one of the main reasons why people choose to go to New Zealand.